Hi there. I know that many of you love it when I cover current news stories from the UK and around the world, and I explain any difficult vocabulary so that you can understand. I haven't done slow news for a while, so let's do that today. So this is approximately 10 minutes covering today 3 news stories so that you can practice your English understanding on interesting and current news stories and relevant topics. And today, listen right till the end. The last news story I cover is a good news story, and I think it will be of interest to many people, especially as that last news story involves guys like these. Story 1. It's difficult to avoid this one, but I know many of you around the world will be interested in it. On the 18th of February 2026, we saw the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly Prince Andrew. The word arrest, A-R-R-E-S-T, means you are taken to a police station and questioned. And it's not a choice. The former Prince Andrew, or Andrew Mountbatten Windsor as he's now known, is the King's younger brother, son of the Queen. Andrew has been in the news a lot recently because of his links with Jeffrey Epstein and the alleged use of young girls trafficked by Epstein. It's been a story that just won't go away. And I use the word alleged, A-L-L-E-G-E-D, because it's not yet proven. It's just thought to be true. In particular, there is that photograph with Virginia Giuffre, which you no doubt will have seen. Sadly, Virginia Giuffre died by suicide last year, 2025. But there are calls for Andrew to answer police questions in the US over these allegations. Former Prince Andrew reached an out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre in 2022. An out-of-court settlement means that he paid her money to stop her talking about her experiences. He probably hoped this would be the end of the matter. Former Prince Andrew has never admitted any wrongdoing here, but suspicion continues to grow, with more and more photographs of Andrew released in the Epstein files. But it's not this that has resulted in Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's arrest and questioning by police. Instead, it's Andrew's activities when he was trade envoy for the UK from 2001 to 2011. An envoy, E-N-V-O-Y, that's someone sent by a government to represent them abroad, to represent their business interests in this case. So being the Queen's younger son, the former Prince Andrew was well known, and he did a lot of travelling to different countries to promote business with the UK. But it is apparently emails revealed by the release of the Epstein files that seem to show Andrew sending information to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein that was confidential and what we call privileged. In particular, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor shared UK government information about his trips abroad and about investment opportunities that he was investigating on behalf of the British government. That means opportunities to make money around the world. For Andrew, this may mean a charge, that's C-H-A-R-G-E, of misconduct in public office, meaning wrongdoing, abuse and misuse of information while employed by the UK government. And while the former Prince Andrew was in the police station, the police were busy searching his homes yesterday, in Berkshire and in Sandringham. It's usual with this type of police investigation for paperwork, phones and computers to be removed for further examination. We also know that the former US ambassador from the UK, Peter Mandelson, is also being investigated. The Epstein files appear to show him also passing privileged information to Jeffrey Epstein, as well as Peter Mandelson also receiving large payments from Jeffrey Epstein. It's interesting that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been arrested, but so far no arrests in the US. Moving on now from privileged people facing charges to a sport, or sports which can sometimes be seen as only open to privileged people. That means people with money. And those sports skiing and snowboarding. So this is story 2, and there are 2 angles on this story. Apparently, Scotland is enjoying its best ski season for years. There is lots of snow, and various Scottish ski locations have had fantastic skiing conditions for several weeks now. Just before I continue with that, a word about supporting Adept English. If you want to support us and make sure we carry on making podcasts like this one, please subscribe to our channel wherever you watch or listen. It helps also if you comment on our podcasts and episodes, and particularly on Spotify if you share them as well. And news on Spotify, we're bringing our Spotify subscription in line with our Apple subscription charge. Excellent value for money. Back to our subject. The skiing industry is not big in the UK because we don't always get enough snow for it, but it does look lovely right now. Apparently, just as British children were on holiday last week for half term, February half term, the skiing slopes in Scotland were great. Cairngorm Mountain near Aviemore apparently has had 23,000 skiers since opening on the 21st of November. And apparently 68 days of snow sports have been available to people, with ski lifts operating for the first time in several years. It all comes at a time when we've been watching the Winter Olympics and having some degree of success in the medal tables. The UK doesn't usually do terribly well at that. We just don't have enough snow for people to practice. And actually, in many places in the UK, even this year, the weather news story has been about rain that doesn't stop and how there's hardly been any sunshine at all in 2026 so far. The other side of this snow story, ski resorts in Europe, the US and Canada have also been doing well because of good snowfall, great conditions for skiing, but actually there have also been a lot of avalanches. An avalanche, A-V-A-L-A-N-C-H-E, is when snow falls in large amounts and uncontrollably down a mountain, and it can be very dangerous. The Scottish Avalanche Service has reported about 150 avalanches so far this season, almost 100 in the last month. And in Europe, it's more serious. There have been 88 deaths so far this ski season associated with skiing and avalanches. And last week, 8 people died skiing in California. Is this related to climate change is one of the questions being asked. It seems that scientists are not clear on this one. One weather event or a situation in a single year doesn't really show what's happening overall. But if you are skiing and snowboarding this year, then the message is take care. Now from that subject to something that for many of us is much closer to home, as we say. Third news story. Can our pet cats help us arrive at a cure for cancer? Cancer, C-A-N-C-E-R, is the word in English for a disease that you will know well. It's that common. And a cure, C-U-R-E, that means something that makes a person with an illness well again, healthy again. Although medical science has made great advances in understanding and treating cancer, there is still some way to go. In 2023, it's estimated that there were over 18 million cases of cancer in the world and 10 million deaths. Cancer in many countries is the second most common cause of death after diseases of the heart, that's cardio diseases. So how is it that our feline friends, our cats, can help us with that? Well, a BBC headline this week was "Cats may hold clues for human cancer treatment." The article says, and this is your chance to work on more difficult English, the first detailed genetic map of cancer in pet cats reveals striking similarities with human versions of the disease, possibly helping find new ways to treat cancer in both. So basically, cat cancers and human cancers involve a lot of genetic changes in common. That means they're the same. Apparently, scientists analysed DNA data from over 500 domestic cats cats. Domestic, domestic, means cats that are pets, cats that live in houses with us. Apparently, this research has been done previously on dogs, but never before on cats. The research was done by the Wellcome Sanger Institute in Cambridge in the UK. And what is key here? Cats share the same spaces as us, meaning that they are exposed to the same environmental factors and the same environmental toxins as we are. This is a really important thing to study then, and hopefully will lead to breakthroughs and treatments for both cats and humans. So there we are, ending on a good news story. Let us know what you think of this news roundup and what's happening in your country.